Hello guys, this is Yasir Khan coming to you with another video, and in this video I'll be talking about a couple of predictions uh, which I can see are happening in real time every single day, but because they're happening at such a rapid pace, most people don't pay attention to them. Okay, so I'm just going to cover them in a very simple manner so that everyone can understand. And I'm sorry about the camera angles today. I don't know what's wrong with the stand that I'm using to make this video. So if you feel that the video is a little off center, then you're not wrong. It actually is off center, and I apologize for that. So let's get back into the video. Now, the first thing that you probably know if you've seen all my other videos or even most of my other videos is that the the era of having a job and being comfortable with it is over. The reason for that is the internet. Every single person, at least in the developed nations, they have access to the internet, which means that they have access to a ton of information. All they have to do is go to Google to search for it, right? And most of the information is free. Now, here's the challenge. Because there's a lot of information, most people, if they wanted to do something radical with their lives, they can do it. They can work from home, they can start their music career, they can start virtual careers from the comfort of their home. The problem is not exactly a problem, but the issue here is that every single thing which is worthwhile takes a lot of time and energy, and the vast majority of people are not ready to commit to spending or investing so much time and energy into something which they feel might not work out. Now, that said, you don't have to have a conventional job in this day and age because of the internet. I know a lot of people who are working from home and making 2 to 10 or sometimes even 50 times the income that they were making at their jobs, right? Now, this process will only accelerate from this point onwards because people are rapidly connecting to the internet. Even in countries in Africa, really poor countries, they have more internet usage now compared to the last 5 years. So in the next 10 years, you can expect most, if not all, the world to start using the internet in one shape or another. This also creates an issue for governments because they want their citizens to not consume a certain type of information depending on what the embargo is or the censorship is in that country. And the internet, doesn't really care about those censorships. So what I'm trying to say is, if you want to find something out, something valuable which can radically change your life, you can do that for free on the internet, which also means that you don't need a job in the traditional sense anymore. So that's the first thing. Now, you can wait and do something about it 10 years from now, but I'm pretty sure that it would be a little late by that time. The time is right now if you act today. Okay, more and more people are starting their own thing online. You could be one of them. Of course, it's going to take some time, money, and effort. It's definitely going to take a lot of effort. But once you understand how this thing works, you can start multiple businesses if that is your thing. So remember, if you're old enough, in the 80s or 90s or even in the 70s or 60s, when people used to stay with the same company for their entire lives, and the company used to take care of them till they died, well, that's not gonna happen anymore. Okay, because everything is changing so rapidly that the employer frankly does not really care if you have the money to live at retirement. They just don't care. In the US and Canada, they have switched the retirement plans to defined contribution plans, and I'm not going to get all technical. What that means is, if you've contributed to that plan, then yeah, you have something to live off of. If you haven't contributed, then the employer frankly doesn't care, and it's not his problem what you do during your retirement. In the 70s, it used to be that after you retired, the employer would take care of you and pay you for your retirement until you were dead, until you passed away. Now, that's not the case. And that's a huge shift And that's going to create a lot of problems down the road for people who haven't thought about retirement and are reaching that age. The other thing to understand is that robots and artificial intelligence are the new thing, especially in the today when I'm recording it. This is October the 13th, 2019. By 2029, most things will either be replaced by, most jobs actually will be replaced by artificial intelligence and robotics. What that means is, if you have a skill which thousands of other people have, then you really don't have a skill. I mean, you have to differentiate yourself in this crazy competitive world in order to make something of yourself. So if you have a high school diploma or even a bachelor degree, and if the only saving grace that you have is a bachelor degree or even a master's degree with nothing on top of it, then you're in trouble, because you can be sure that whatever you are getting paid for to do, someone else overseas offshore can do it for 5 times cheaper, and a computer can probably do it for 20 to 50 times less. What that would eventually mean is that your job will be gone, and a computer or an outsourced worker, I can't speak today, will be doing it, okay, a couple of years from now. So the time to act is right now. And I don't mean this video to scare people, but the world is changing rapidly. And I know people in Canada and the US who have been trying to get a job, and they sent out 50 to 60 job applications and resumes to get one job, which was contract work for 6 months. And I'm telling you, these people have professional degrees, and in the next 10 years, you can easily expect yourself to apply to a lot more jobs to get a very mediocre short-term position. And I don't want that to happen to you. So you should be your own boss, like I started 10 years ago. Okay? And there's nothing really difficult in life. If you're willing to put in the time and energy, you should be able to make it work, right? It's not going to happen overnight, of course, but the rewards almost always outweigh the cost, okay? Especially if you're doing something difficult and unique and something which most people aren't willing to do. What other predictions? Yes, another prediction for the next 10 years is that governments will find it more and more difficult to tax people. Why? Because once again, the internet allows people to earn income from pretty much anywhere, right? I'm not even going to talk about the dark web. I'm not going to go there. If you don't know what the dark web is, you can search for it online. But even legitimate income, because they would be coming in from so many different ways and so many different sources, and because the governments will have to lift controls and will have to let money flow more freely across the border, across the world, you can be sure that it would become more and more difficult for governments to tax their people. This is especially the case with the rich. The government already faces a huge difficulty taxing the rich people, because they know that if they raise their taxes on people who are very, very wealthy, they're going to move their money to another place, another country, another city, another jurisdiction, which is going to tax them a lot less. And this has been happening for the last 10, 20, 50, 100 years, but this is accelerating every single day. Now, every single day, trillions, not billions, trillions of dollars exchange hand, and the vast majority of that supply is because a certain condition was unfavorable. So for example, if country A increased the taxes just by a little bit, you can expect billions, if not trillions of dollars to move out of that country into another safe haven where they aren't taxing the amount at such a high rate. Okay? This also means that you can expect in the next 10 years, you can expect a lot of recessions and depressions and economic peak cycles, just because everything is happening so rapidly. Okay? This is not the 70s anymore, where once again you stayed with the job for the next 40 years and then you retired with the same company. If you really look closely, you will see that like a company which was started 2 years ago is not even here anymore. It has probably gone bankrupt. Huge giants are going bankrupt. They're either dissolving their businesses or partnering up with conglomerates, or they're laying off thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of workers. So this is the new world, and information is key. Okay, and if you want to succeed in this new world, you have to have information which other people want but do not have. And it all comes down to using the internet in a way which is going to help you build wealth. All right, guys, let me know what you thought about this video. Do comment, like, and share this video, and subscribe to my channel. And I will come back to you with another video tomorrow. Thanks. Take care.